Well, hello, and thank you for joining us, Companion to the Companion fans,
Hello.
for episode 32, 11/30/95, the famous 11/30 date, at the Ervin J. Nutter Center at Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio. And welcome to Ian.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Hello.
Yeah, Ervin J.
Very
Nutter
happy
Center,
to be
Dayton,
here.
Ohio. A storied venue, but not at this
Would you
point.
just call it the Nutter all the time? Like, it'd just be like, we're
The
going to the
Nutter,
Nutter.
the Nutter Center.
It's a great name. Ervin
It is
J.
a great
Nutter
name.
just sounds like a
I
good
hope they
guy.
keep it and it doesn't become the First America Union Bank Credit Union situation.
Yeah, I'm sure it. Well, I don't know. I'm going to stay out of it. I did a little research actually, and I think it might still be the Nutter. It's
Okay.
a
Well,
like
I feel like they
classic.
played there not that long ago.
Yeah, they
Like a
played
few years ago.
5 shows, so not a handful of times, and it's
Right.
like 12,000 seats, like classic basketball, hockey. I was shocked at how good it sounded for being one of those indoor kind of hockey, basketball arena, college places. The recordings were great.
Yeah, I imagine it
Um,
sounded much better on the recording than it did at the actual venue.
Who knows? There isn't a video you can watch on YouTube. There's a few different videos, but there's one where someone dubbed in the soundboard behind it, and
Uh-huh.
it was really fun. I didn't watch a ton of it, but a little bit of it just to get the vibe, what it looked like, and that sounded great.
Yeah.
That was headphones watching, scraggly video, but
Nice.
I'm sure the energy seemed off the charts, and I don't know. At first glance and first pass, I thought, I don't know, we have a run coming up. I mean, it's 11:30, 12:1, 12:7, 12:9, 12:14 are all on this list. So
Sure.
we're living a lot in this 2-week period. And I started the show and I was like, I don't know, why did this make the list? And then as I kept going through, and especially the second listen, this is a sleeper show. It's great. Every note is just on point and really just an amazing night of music. There's no big jams exactly. I mean, the Tweezer kind of, but just everything is so tight and so crispy and so full of life and energy and the little details that we love so much. So
Yeah, I
I
mean, you took
really
the
loved
words
it.
right out of my mouth, and I agree with basically all of that. I'm not sure if I came
Mm.
around quite as much as you. I still feel like it's an incredible night of music. I definitely think it's
Mm.
a sleeper. I think, like, seriously, there's a few exceptions, but almost every song is kind of like, wow, what a version.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but at the same time, there is yeah, it just, like, I don't know, it doesn't have like a big energy sort of feel to it, and
Mm.
I'm not so sure it's list worthy yet, but I'm kind of on the line, so I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
talking about it. But I definitely felt that way as you when I started listening to it, and I was like, wait, why is this on the list? But then after having gone back, listened to some of the stuff twice, I'm like, okay, I can kind of like see some of the nuance here, and I see it is just so different than 94, and I think that
Mm.
it's a lot about just kind of getting used to just how different it is, how 95 is kind of its own thing, and it is about sort of these repetitive sort of lockstep grooves that they get into, but there's also so much flashy individual improvisation and just performances
By
going
all
on
four,
top of,
yeah.
as well. In general, I would say I was just like, Fishman, oh my God. I mean, I came away
Yeah.
from this show almost every song just being like, wow,
Yeah.
Fishman. It's definitely one of those shows.
Yeah, I think you and I and all of our listeners and friends, we listen to music in different locations and for different reasons. And I try to listen to these shows in a bunch of different ways. And this one did not connect as much for me, listening to it at work while I'm prepping, listening to it in the car. But with headphones on, it connects every time. It's
Sure.
one of those shows.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot we've listened to where no matter what the situation you're in, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But this one was one of those where I think the devil's in the details.
Mhm.
And I bet you this was a fight to get on the list. I bet you with the next, 4 that are on the list from December, this was probably a little bit of a fight. And I'm sure someone, there were some of the people voting it on were there and really
Yeah.
pushed it. And that 2019 release of it for us may have I don't know. I don't know if Shapiro's involved in this book in any way, or if he has some sway, or those guys have sway in what gets released. But that may have helped reinforce this in the long run for me, was just the quality of sound.
Sure.
If we didn't have the official releases, I probably wouldn't feel the same way.
Yeah, well, we're going to be discussing fall 95 tweezers a little bit later in this podcast, and we can kind of get into, how this kind of stands up to some other shows that we can talk about. But because I'm sure that you found a few magic tweezers in other shows that aren't on the list. And I kind of thought, like, well, what if I could take this tweezer and put it into 1130? But we'll get there.
Yeah. I don't know that it needed a tweezer swap. I think that it was just one of those great nights of Phish. It's kind of like when we talked earlier about 7/1/95 at Great Woods, my third show. It just is great Phish all the way through.
Yeah.
And this kind of had that vibe to it. I bottom of the list? Yeah. Will it make the list? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure 3.0ers would say no at this point, with every single show from this last tour being, 4.5 stars and everyone's bowing down again. But, I think it's some great music. Let's dive in. Let's dive into set one. See how we do.
What's this thing
Was
start
that a
with?
subtle dig?
All right, here we go.
Subtle dig?
Yeah, it was a subtle dig. And, yeah, I will just say, in terms of new Phish, I had to come to terms actually this past few weeks and just be like, look, I can't do this podcast and listen to a ton of 1.0 and then also be listening to these new shows at the same time. I just can't do it. And I think it's unfair to the new shows. And I tried, and I was like, I just started getting worked up and angry at Trey. And I was like, why am I doing this? I'll just wait till I go on a 3 or 4.0 tear, whatever you want to call it, and I'll love it because it is great for what it is, but it's just different and it's really hard to compare. So I'm in that part of my life where we're talking 1.0. So
at the end of this, when we're done, and we have a list of 100, maybe we compile our top 10 favorite shows 2015 to current.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds fun. That'll give us a lot of 3 and 4.0 listening, and we'll be all set, right?
Yeah.
Start at Magnaball and just work forward.
Right.
That sounds fun.
Well, but we're really getting into the show. We're actually going to start. Okay. Are we going to start this podcast?
I'm just dreaming. I'm dreaming. All right, I'm ready.
I think much like this show, this is kind of a sleeper episode. We're kind of getting there. We're slowly getting there. Okay, so it opens up with Sample, which, is fairly new at the time. It's a year old. But their pop hit, I guess. So I think it's a great opener, and I think it brings a lot of energy to the show. I like it.
Yeah, by the end of the song, I was like, wow, Trey sounds great. Fishman sounds great too. What page? I was like, this is Bits of Flourish already.
Yeah, and doesn't it have a really cool transition into Curtain, or just kind of slams into Curtain, right?
It was written, it was planned, it had that vibe.
Yeah.
And the Curtain, I just wrote perfect ?
Yeah, it was perfect.
It's nailed.
Yeah.
And that kind of energy coming out of the gate with a pop hit and then a really kind of complex, strange one.
Right.
And then ha ha ha.
Yeah.
The set lists, this was when they were writing them and talking about them and talking transitions and talking flow. You could tell.
Yeah.
And it really had it straight through. And I think Julius is where they loosen the belt and kind of get a little, they let loose a little bit.
I get that they really discussed the set list and they put it, but I do think one of my arguments on this show is they did fail at certain points here. One of my big issues with this show is the flow. But the Curtain was near perfect. Let's just say perfect. It was perfect.
Sure.
And although, what would have made it more perfect is if they would have played the Curtain width back then when Trey really nailed it.
I know.
And that would have been something. And it's too bad that didn't happen.
I mean, I know why.
Yeah.
The synth in Ha 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 is very, very funny, I thought. Over the top. It's that Frankenstein synth,
Ha Ha Ha's always been one of my favorites. I wish they would play it more. I wish they would play it for longer. I wish they would really abuse the audience with it. But
I like the deadpan ha 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 ha. It's just very flat. Yeah, it makes me feel good.
Yeah, love it. And so, yeah, cool, really unique start to the show. I would say. I mean, I guess you wouldn't say like sample or is a unique way to start the show, but the combination of the three songs are. And then we get to Julius kind of early in the set. I feel like Julius usually kind of closer style, but bringing the energy. And again, I thought the Julius was amazing.
Straight fire. Yeah. So good.
Straight fire.
Everybody was like really kind of their top of their game. Very bouncy, very like good ears, good listening, and big, powerful energy from everyone. It was great.
Yeah. We're just flying through this, and then into
Julius every night, right? Isn't that what we want?
Just
yeah, I'm into it.
I love it. Yeah, and then we go to an ICU, which is real standard. It didn't blow my mind. It was just kind of a standard NICU.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, okay, great.
I mean, that's kind of most of the set. Bathtub Gin. I just wrote clean 8-minute version, twisting fractal vibes. Personified molasses.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of funny because I remember when we talked last week, I was like, oh, I remember the bathtub gin being really good. And then I like your description, by the way.
It was fun.
But yeah, I didn't love the bathtub gin. I feel like I tend to love early bathtub gins. And this was the first point in the show where I thought, it was a little lackluster for me. Not that it was bad. Like, it was good.
Sure.
But it just wasn't, it didn't light me up like almost all bathtub gins do. And so
yeah, it was in and out.
Yeah, and then the riff, I thought it was okay. Like, it was really fast.
Yeah, a little too fast.
But I didn't feel that Trey was totally engaged. I don't know if he was distracted, but I felt he was a little distracted.
This part of the set was a little weird. The gin riff, Fast Enough for You, was a little weird. I agree.
Yeah.
The flub in Fast Enough for You didn't bother me because the solo was very... I mean, is this the longest one ever played? It was a very interesting... I mean... I don't think everyone needs to go back and listen to this every time, but it's very interesting and different. And I think he's trying to make up for kind of the vocal flub.
I agree. Yeah. I guess I should go back and re-listen to it too, because my notes were, didn't even mind the rough start, but uninspired ballad soloing. So maybe it wasn't
it just was long
enough for me, and it was too weird. Like, I don't know what it was, but I'll go back and check it out. I mean,
there was an attempt to kind of build it.
Right.
So it was a little different. I don't know. It still didn't. I kind of remember listening to this out loud while I was working, and I was loving it. And then this stretch kind of, I don't know.
Right.
So, same. Yeah, and then Lizards, right?
Yeah, I thought this lizard's fire situation was fire. The lizards was perfect. I mean, it was gorgeous, and yeah, I've got no complaints about it.
Is the end of Lizards the peak of Trey's writing, instrumental writing? Is that the best? That melody? And the way the band plays under it, and then it shifts up a key. Is that the perfect Phish moment to describe them? Like,
it is one of his. Yeah, I have like talked about using like parts of Lizards, like the second section of Lizards, as like some of Phish's best compositional writing.
Absolutely.
And it is very beautiful, and it is especially cinematic.
Each musician, the way it's classical in its approach.
Yeah, and I feel like Lizards is one of these songs that has to be played perfect. I hate to be that bitchy guy, but there are just some of their songs that I think just have to be played perfect.
Sure.
And that can mean different things, but it means all of them really listening to one another and making sure they're working together, and that they're not kind of focused just on their performance. And yeah, this was an amazing Lizards. So
yeah, I agree.
If you're a Lizards fan, booyah, 11:39.5.
Yeah.
And this fire, back to your headphones point, I listened to it on my headphones while I was washing the dishes, and I thought, oh my God, what just happened in that fire? Like, they were so tight, and just the way Fishman and just the way they were all playing together and reacting off one another, and the nuance of it. It was short, but every note had a response from somebody else, and it was just like this crazy rockin' but super like nuanced conversation that they were having. And I thought it was incredible. Then I listened to it the next day, wanted to repeat the magic, listened to it in my car, and thought, what did I hear on my headphones? And then I went back and listened to it on my headphones again, and I heard it again. I think there is something about just a controlled environment for when you're listening.
And it may have been that way at the show. The room may have been like the headphones, and that may have been why like it just was a pressure cooker of a night, and people that were there were like, no, this is on my list for sure. I mean, you and I have experienced that too. There are shows that are not on this list that we saw that should definitely be on this list.
Well, I guess we should probably call it the curse of 11:30, huh?
Maybe. I mean, we can say the same about 10/30/98 probably too, right?
Sure, yeah.
Like, I don't think that's on this list, and that was by far in my top 5.
Right.
So some of them just don't make it, and it's because being in the room is where the magic is. So
right.
Maybe that's what's happening with modern Phish. I don't know.
Well, that's
chess
for
move.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, even when I watched a little bit of the webcast and I saw those lights, I mean, there is no denying with Modern Phish.
Yeah.
If you're at the show, it's fucking awesome. Then no one's trying to take that away from you. I just want to nitpick because it's fun.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
that's what we're not paid to do.
So you liked The Fire?
I loved it. I thought same as you.
Okay.
I thought it was fine out loud, and then I put headphones on, and it's like, why is every like rock and roll band not listening to this as a blueprint for how to do better?
Yeah,
Come on, people. Like it was just kicking ass in like a kind of a. There were times where you thought, whoa, like the wheels could come off this, but it was rock solid and loose all at once. It was ballsy.
Yeah.
And loud.
I will mention, just as a point of recommendation, not that, one thinks of listening to versions of Fire from Phish as, something to do, but a buddy of mine was texting me about Ventura 97, and he was like, oh, that I was just listening to this, and this song was great, and this song was great, and even The Fire was great. He said it, and I'm like, I was at that show, but I hadn't listened to The Fire in a long time, because you go listen to a show, you don't necessarily think, I'll listen to The Fire.
No.
But I listened to that, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I saw this? Holy shit! And, like, it had this part, like, towards the end where it kicked into this like motor drive where like I felt like my whole like lower torso like lift up, like, whoa, here we go. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So if you want to hear another awesome Fire, go check out 7:39.
Yeah, good recommendation.
Yeah.
I will. Maybe right after this. I don't know.
All right, so that was the first set.
Yeah, and then I think that the chess with the audience is great. I don't know how I feel about the band hanging the board behind them the whole time they're playing.
Fair enough, yeah.
Thoughts? Because if you're at a show, like you just discussed the lighting at Modern Phish, and I think early Phish also lighting's always been a big part of it.
Right.
Bow Down to Karuta, CK5. I don't know that maybe he had this argument. Just turn the board around. Why are we looking at, is it because like life, you're trying to bring the life chessboard? You're trying to like say that this is all just chess? Are we like, all pieces of this? And it makes you, if you're there in a certain state, try to break down why the chessboard is hanging there rather than just focusing on the music.
Yes.
Just rewatching the video of this made me realize that.
Ultimately, a checkerboard, the aesthetic design of a checkerboard is very static. And it's very not fluid. And it's kind of the opposite of psychedelics, and
it draws your eye too.
Or a place where you want the eye to be able to wander into an undefined place where it can do its own creation. And that's kind of the idea behind what the mind can do while we're listening to Phish's music. So yes, I'm totally on board with you, and I'd be curious to ask that question, if we ever talk to anybody who might have an answer to that.
We are compiling some deep questions. That's a good one. We should start making a list of this and send an email to someone and say, hey, we have this silly little podcast that we love to do. And, we have throngs of listeners, but beyond them, it's just us.
Right.
And we have these pretty deep questions for band and surrounding members, and here they are. And is there any way we could get back on these? And maybe someone will read it someday and actually want to respond, because that's the kind of stuff I want to know.
It is funny. It seems so stupid, but they even recently, when they did those screens, they did those little mini screens. I feel like it kind of had the same effect, where it like broke up the light show a little bit and drew the eye too much, and so it didn't last more than one tour.
That's a hard job. Visual effects is hard.
Yeah. Although oddly enough, when I watch shows, I don't think, like, oh, I wish I was on stage playing the music, or I wish I was I wish I was part of that light team. That seems like that would be free.
You were part of my light team once.
Yeah, it was. It was quite.
You were on Smoke Machine. You were on light team. That was.
But yeah,
that was so much fun.
That would be a blast. All right, so we're getting to set 2 here, and open up with the chess, as you mentioned, Sam. And then Cars, Trucks, and Buses. Interesting opener, but love it. I mean,
it was cool.
Yeah, when do I not like a Cars, Trucks, and Buses? That's great.
I agree. It was an odd choice, I thought, and then I just loved it. 95, 96 they were pushing the new stuff real hard, and rightly so. Great material. And I thought that they were putting it in really important parts of the show like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. I loved it. I thought like later Strange Design was also in a pretty heavy location and well executed, great.
Right.
And those were the new songs.
Yeah, that's true. And Cars, Trucks, and Buses is a composition to be proud of from, that Page wrote. I think it's really great, and it's catchy, and it was in a movie. Do you remember that when that was in a movie? I can't remember what movie it was, but I do remember that somebody put that in a movie. It was like some sort of like college drug drama.
I love that was in a movie.
Something. I don't know. I'll look it up as we're chatting here.
Was it surprising when it happened?
Yeah, it was like in the late 90s. Yeah, it was like short, like maybe 2000 or something.
I love that. I love that.
Well, Sam, while I'm looking this up, why don't you start talking about this tweezer?
All right, tweezer, the only headphones in the book from this show, and not super long. I want to say around 19, 20 minutes. So to say that's not super long is strange. I thought it was good, and I really like that you chose to break down Fall 95 tweezers, because looking at the set list, I figured the tweezer was going to be the big linchpin to the set. And there were moments I thought were really good. And honestly, as we break into tweezer being what we discuss in depth in this, there were only 12 tweezers played in the fall. And of those, I thought a handful were actually quite similar to this one.
It's true.
And that surprised me a little bit. This one may have stood on top of those other ones, but there were better tweezers in the fall.
Yeah.
Even though I did love aspects. It was like 10 minutes were kind of standard, and then it sort of Mike pushes into chaos. Then there's this beautiful Page stuff and really sick groove, and it kind of gets distorted and mean. There's tempo shift later on. Page it's basically llama at one point.
Yeah.
Did you know that too?
Yep.
I thought that was really fun. And then a big, huge Trey outro finishes like a really nice lap around the track, and it's beautiful. I thought if I was there, it would have been incredible. And hearing it from our end, I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed it. I'd do it top-notch tweezer, maybe not, but really, really great. Good ground covered.
Okay, so yeah, I don't totally disagree with you. I just want to make a caveat here. I listened to this tweezer 5 times. Mm-hmm. 5 times. I felt like I wasn't getting it at first. Like, I listened to it and I was like, yeah, it's good. Like, it's tight. But it just didn't have any parts that... There was like a couple little sections where like, oh, we're about to do it. We're about to get there. And then they just kind of switched to something different. And Trey does go off at the end. And there's some really cool piano work from Page. Liked the start of the jam when Trey kind of starts off tenuously, kind of like a Reba jam or something like that. And like you said, there were parts, but as a whole, I think when it was over, I was like, yeah, like I wouldn't be rushing to go back and listen to it again. If I was at the show, would I be dancing my ass off and think it was incredible? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it is a great 95 tweezer. I give them an A+ for hard work. I mean, I feel like they were really trying to make this tweezer work. But I think, and they didn't give up, and there was a few moments where they did really almost get there. But I don't know, in the jam charts, it's like hose, like in all caps. And I just think... Yeah,
I fucking hate the word hose.
I guess everybody defines hose in a different way, but this is not hose for me. This is like a very workman-like, like like the band just kicking ass, like working hard and doing their thing. But I never felt like they unconsciously stumbled onto a theme coming from the universe.
No, the whole show that was that way.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we're being sticky about it not making it. Was
right.
Excellent musicianship all the way through, just like this tweezer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hard work put in, hard work on display. Some really fun sections that you recall when the song's over. Like, remember that crazy part?
Right.
But not transcendent.
Right.
Which is okay. Again, really, I think if you sandwich this tweezer into the Makasupa Antelope, and that's a little three-layer sandwich, then we're talking business. I thought that was a little bit better.
Well, should we talk about this trio and then go back to tweezers, or do we want to go off on a tweezer tangent here?
Let's tweezer tangent. I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's tweezer.
And we'll come
tangent.
back. The into Makasupa after.
Comment? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, all right. Let's tweezer. Let's jump off on the tangent. So, you go first.
I'll do deets first.
Okay.
Like I said, 12 tweezers are played in the fall. I actually saw one at the Embarcadero Pops, the Summer Pops in San Diego. It is absolutely not going to be on this list. 9/28/95 was not the best show the band ever played. But I remember I just started college in San Diego. I knew no one. I met some random people in class. We went to that show. It was outside on this peninsula in the water. I didn't know my way around San Diego. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And these people are like, "Oh, just hop in our van. We'll head down with you." They were older than me. They were like juniors or seniors. And I was a freshman. And I hopped in their van and went down there. It was so much fun. Yeah. And you could walk to the front of the stage. There was nobody there. It was a few thousand people, I would think.
Yeah.
And best Phish show playing wise, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But an absolute party. I had so much fun. And I remember the tweezer, I think it was tweezer into Acoustic Army from this. I think Acoustic Army and Keyboard Cavalry both happened this night because they were new. It was also Fog That Surrounds was played that night, pre-twist. Right. There was some really cool stuff. And I remember I went to, I think it was the next night, or maybe there was a gap day to LA and saw The Greek afterwards.
Right.
Which was also not one of the best shows the band ever played. But it was just a fun time in life. And anyway, I saw one of the 12 tweezers. But of the 12, 10 of them make the jam charts.
Right.
Which is pretty crazy. And since 12/14 is coming up, that really only leaves us 11 tweezers we could talk about.
Right.
So I thought that was cool that you chose this because it narrowed the field. Even though they're long songs, it narrowed the field a lot. And I listened to all of them. I re-listened to a couple.
Yeah.
I'm sure you did as well.
I did, yeah.
And I went a little bit different route. I think we're going to have different takes. I wanted to highlight each musician in a key section of a different tweezer rather than like my top 3.
Right.
So there will be 4 I'm going to mention, but they're all going to be like, here's a section, and this is where I think this one musician really was the star.
Okay.
Because I noticed a theme in a lot of the tweezers where there was great band interplay at times. And I thought one of the best tweezers was a good band interplay tweezer. But I really loved when one musician would step out.
Right.
I think the mini drum kit really helped that a lot.
Huh.
And I really enjoyed each player's skills at leading the band at points in tweezers. That's what really hooked me.
I can't wait to hear what you have to say, but I also feel like being in like school and just being like, wait, there was extra credit? I didn't even know there was extra credit possible.
I know. I was going to text you. I was like, I think I'm going to do this. But then I had so much fun. I'm like, I like that we're going to do different things.
That's great. Okay, well, you go first since you have 4.
Okay. I will start with Michael Soft G. Gordon from 10/6/95. Okay. There's there was a bunch of moments that I really, really liked. But I thought this was the first time I really heard Mike envelope. Like a lot of envelope filter.
Yeah.
And like 5-ish in, there's kind of a little Mike-led jam. came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he's great in a lot of, like later on, there's this really sick bluesy stuff. It gets really deep around like 11 and a half, 12, where again, I thought Mike was leading the band. So 10-6 and multiple times, I thought that Mike was really the star of that tweezer.
Yeah,
and those two key moments I loved.
And that's pretty unique for this era.
Yeah, I thought so too. I mean, later that's going to be all the time, but this was different.
Right.
So 10-6 is my Mike soft G.
Okay. Well, my first one, I'm just going to go for the tweezer immediately following 11:30 and say 12:2, which is a predictable choice.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new release. It was just released last year. And I even remember like when they did the official release and, you know, some people were like, oh man, this is like one of the best tweezers. And other people were like, I don't know, I just don't hear it. It's just kind of repetitive. And I think both things are true. But in terms of hose, I feel like the difference between 11:30 and 12:2 is it's kind of huge upon re-listen. And because when you're listening to 12:2, there is like an energy building in that tweezer that is palpable. Like you can emotionally feel it as it's like building and building and building. And then it really like breaks out. Where I feel like they're doing a similar thing in 11:30, but they never kind of quite get there because of that thing you were talking about before. It just didn't transcend. So I feel like 12:2 was the one where it really does sort of transcend. And I feel like if I was going to choose a sort of a standard type 1 tweezer that is just, the grooves are so intertwined and locked in. It's like a fabric. It's like everything is so tight and pulled together that it's like you almost can't separate the instruments. And I love how tightly wound that tweezer is. So I would say that one.
Yeah, 12-2 is my Trey version because
for
me, I thought that tempo shift that goes up at like 7.5-ish when Fishman picks the tempo up, I think that it just like unleashes this part of Trey. And they accomplish what I think 11:30 tried to much better at 12-2.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I loved, the last 10 minutes of it were just great.
Oh, yeah.
Trey was shredding through that part and the whole band was big and the little bluesy ending. Yeah, and the official release really helped too.
Yeah, just chills. Like in a way, I know it's very different and not like melodic in the way that the Went Gin is, but it does have this sort of like repetitive sort of like I'm gonna beat you down with this good feeling until you just give into it, and I love that. Yeah.
See, maybe the hose can just have a lot of different settings. Like my garden hose has like 12 settings.
Right.
And sometimes you just want like the light mist,
Sure.
you know, the like gentle light mist or the rain setting. Other times you just want like pouring out of the hose.
Right.
And sometimes you just need that straight, like knock you over power. So
that fire hose.
Maybe the hose, hose can be all the things. And this was when it shifts up in tempo there, like it's higher powered hose than I think 1130 gets to. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your
that was my
one?
tray. That was great.
Okay.
I'll jump into another one. We're going to go back a little bit. 1119 was my chairman of the boards by far. That was Page's show. Like, it's kind of a standard tweezer, and then it builds a bunch of dissonance, and then like halfway through, Page just like this. It's so funky for even 95 Phish. Like,
it's
very
way
surprising.
funky for 95. Yeah.
Dude, all that synth, and it's like Page dominates for a long time. And, Trey's on MIDI drum kit and kind of doesn't come back. Like, he just allows Page to take over the whole arena for a long period. It's some of the most, like, there's a real, Page does it more than anyone else in the band, I think. He's not shy about like going out on those limbs like that.
No.
And hitting some loud, aggressive kind of atonal clusters of notes that are so cute and funny and just boyish in their approach. And this was a great example of him as band leader. I loved it. It was great.
Wasn't that one of the things that kind of Tom Sharpling made fun of Page and the, Analyzed Phish? It was when Harris played him like the bathtub gin. And then like 2 seconds into it, Tom was like, no. He's like, this piano player's ruining it. He's like, too aggressive. It's loud all at once. I just thought that was so funny.
That's part of the reason.
Yeah, I adore that tweezer. I love that early proto-funk. It is just so cool. It's not quite funk, but just like when Phish was kind of like early in their career here, even in 94, I guess it even started in 93 a little bit, where they were just kind of like, let's try and be a funky band. But they're so white and it's so peculiar and it's so idiosyncratic. And it just has this really unique feel and it's so fun. I loved that tweezer. That was another one of my choices.
It's angular. It like hits on top of and pushes the beat rather than lays back.
Yeah.
And takes it easy. So it like funk is a weirdly defined term. It almost has like, I don't know. It's just Phish.
It's groovy. It's groovy.
Yes.
What it is.
Sure.
Okay. Well, my last one, I'm gonna go with the 1217, the Lake Placid, 1995. I don't know why, like, it just hit me. Like, it may have been when I listened to it, because like Sam said, really all of these tweezers on this jam chart are worth a listen from fall 95. They're all kind of great.
I agree. Yeah.
Especially the one after that, the 1228-95, where Mike has some cool stuff going on too. But I like the Lake Placid one. I thought it was really big. And the 12.8, I don't know. Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah, I really the end of 1217 into the Twee Prize was really like that was really cool. The last few minutes, it's so gorgeous and I just wrote pretty fucking great. Like didn't make my list, but I was like, man, this is really good.
And it's so unique, like the way it just kind of like wanders off, and you're just
Yeah.
you're just kind of like, oh, we're like, where are we now? And then you're kind of like, oh, the and they just like come back in.
Yeah.
It's cool. It must have been awesome at the show.
Yeah, it just, for me, the only reason it didn't make it is the beginning kind of had like, it just took a long road. It was just a nice, solid, good tempo, like upbeat tweezer, fun, having a great time. But then that back, few minutes I really liked.
It's funny how sometimes the end can kind of color your whole opinion, because I probably shouldn't think this one is so much better than 11:30, but for some reason my brain does. But that's why we're chatting it out. Well, what was your final one?
My final was Johnny B. Fishman's orchestra on 12/8.
Yes,
which like you were saying, you were leaning. There was those hits that happened where they were just hammering hits. I mean, the beginning started fine, and then Fishman later on too. I wrote Fishman with the huge hits and Fishman around 11:45. Then went, holy shit, at like 15.5, Fishman again, like with Shaft style, like hi-hat vibes. There was a bunch of really cool sections that I thought he was leading the band in that song.
Right.
That version of that song. And I thought it was really for a long time where they let him go. And he doesn't always do this, but he was dominating sections. He was pushing transitions really hard. And I loved it. I thought it was super cool.
Yeah, that was an amazing version. And actually, I wrote down that I think that may have been one of the better versions of Kung. I like it was really successful. Depending on where Kung is, I think it can be.
Yeah, and the slow ending kind of worked out nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a lot of these tweezers had the old style slow ending, which surprised me too. Because I don't think a lot of 94 tweezers had the old slow ending.
Right.
So maybe there was a conscious effort
so
to
far
do it.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they talked and they said, look, tweezer went out there. We still want to improvise, but when we reel it back in, we want to finish the song.
Right.
We want to make it a piece of music. And we want to like bring the tweezer theme back. Then we want to break it down like we used to break it down. And you could feel that it was conscious and cool that way.
Yeah. Okay, well that's
great
a
tweezers.
Good list of tweezers for everybody to go check out. Oh, we didn't talk about the 10/22/95, which is also a great one. But I think it's really funny because it has a straight like 95 yum jam, and I think that's kind of cool too. Like I like that they kind of mix that up. And then it kind of goes, it has the similar tweezer makasupa motif.
Yep. I said it was a lot like this one. I thought. Like
it was.
The flow in the set was similar to this one.
It was, yeah.
And 11/12 like had its parts too, but I wasn't, I don't know. I wasn't over the top.
Right. Yeah, the second half of that one I liked. But this Makasupa in the show, in the 1022, I prefer Head Over Shoulders over 1130. And we'll talk about why. But it's pretty funny, and it has the famous Gaddafi in my bed line, which, check it out. Paluska in my head. Gaddafi in my bed, Paluska in my head. It's a good one.
The only other thing about tweezers, too, is there's 12 played this fall, and relating back to the book, The Companion, 8 of them have headphones.
Wow.
Which is a pretty, basically the people behind the book that we're doing this podcast about said go listen to tweezers from fall 95. Right. So we did.
Yeah.
And thank you. I loved it. I loved all of it. Big win. You. Get the book.
Thank you.
Get the book, guys.
All right. So back to Makasupa 1130-95. I will just say it was fast. And just on a personal level, I had a hard time liking this because, and I don't know if it was because the rhythm was like so white, like, because if it just had that, I don't know why. Like, I tend to not feel that most Makasupas have a cringy white reggae feel to them. But for some reason, this one did. I don't know. Well, I'm not sure why. It just had a different rhythm.
Sure. I thought the transition was really nice.
The transition was awesome.
And
yes.
Page does a lot of his, outer space synth work that he's really working on that we've discussed as well. And the last minute got me. I thought the last minute was pretty great.
Okay.
It took a minute. And a lot of times with Makasupa, I feel a little gross.
Sure.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
There's a little too much white reggae.
Yeah.
And I love that Phish plays all the genres. They came up in the 80s where that was totally copacetic. Everyone was doing it.
Yeah.
It's still part of who they are. I'm not hating. And there's always some part of it I love.
Right.
There's a moment or there's a couple minutes. And this one just the last minute's pretty great.
It is, and you're right. The segue into it and the segue out of it, fantastic.
Sure, yes.
So it is a little nitpicky to say, oh, well, the rhythm's off, I don't like it, because the segues in and out are awesome. And I guess the lyrics of Makasupa are always a little cringy, but like once the lyrics stop and it just becomes rhythm, then I feel like it's just psychedelic reggae. Yeah, and I think that's a genre unto itself that they kind of created in a way. So I tend to think it's its own type of music, but okay. So and then our Antelope, I thought it was an average 95 great Antelope until the end. When Trey he deploys a riff so great, I feel like maybe a guitarist could launch an entire career off it. I mean, what the fuck with this guy? Like, he just lays out this riff, and you're like, just jaw to the ground, speechless. What the fuck, Trey? Amazing, man.
I thought this would have been the live one Antelope.
Yeah. Okay.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
that makes
too
sense.
much. Yeah. It wasn't too weird. It was just enough of all the good parts.
Yeah.
And it was tight as shit, and it wasn't that long.
Yeah.
But it was still like long enough to really blow some doors and clean, and all the sections were hit right.
Yeah.
It was the exclamation on, I think, the 3-song sandwich.
Sure.
That showcased so much music.
Right.
And honestly, if I am to go back and listen to any part of any of this, it's just going to be to knock that Antelope out again.
Yes.
So I
yeah.
We're a couple songs ahead, but I thought the Free a couple songs later had that same quality where it was just like it could have been on a live one.
Right.
It just had that like great version. There were a bunch of those in this show. Like this is just a textbook live version of a studio song.
Yeah,
know?
that's a great way to say it. Without like a bunch of extra mustard, but just like perfectly executed with all of that live energy attached.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great energy.
yeah, the Antelope was awesome, and that would be a great addition to a live one.
Sure.
The Scent I also thought had really wonderful individual work.
I wrote Ian talk solos. So perfect. Get me. I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, Phish and Page in particular, I thought just the way Phish was propping everybody up and kind of like answering, like adding color to all the stuff was great. And Page just played a beautiful solo. I guess I wasn't prepared to go into details of it. Trey just did kind of his standard solo, I feel like. Didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was like a particularly unique scent, but I did feel like just like all these other versions where I'm like, this is like the quintessential live version of this song because it is so drastically different from like if you were to listen to the Hoist version and then you were to like go see this performance, you would be, I think, pretty surprised and impressed.
Yeah, I never know how to feel about this song. I really don't.
Yeah.
To this day. And I have weird, like, this song has popped up at moments in my life in weird ways. And the lyrics are a little cringy.
They are.
I think.
Yeah.
And then I think the structure of what happens in the improvised section with the like Russian dance part's a little cringy.
Yeah.
I don't know. If Phish was just like, we're just not going to play this anymore, I'd be okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would. Although I do like that Marimba Lumina action, but I guess they can put that anywhere. Okay. Yeah, I know.
There's
what you
also
mean.
that one Europe 22697, that Europe version that's
with the
You
scatting.
Enjoy Myself in that set. That's really great.
Yeah, no,
there's like times.
There are a number of really cool
Manteca
versions.
one, yeah. Yep.
I do seem to remember Bill Sprack being really excited about the Alpine Valley 97 Son of a Mule. Or maybe he was just excited to have seen one. Maybe that was his first one.
I remember that one was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the one where they were laying on their back
doing
the leg kicks and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was cool. It's okay. I hate to cringe. I hate to like feel, It's the side of me that like people are like, oh, you just think you're too cool for things. I'm not too cool for things. There's just some things that like get under my skin.
I think your opinion is more popular than my side. I do feel like I am a little bit of a sucker to just like the soloing type stuff. And I don't know if it's because I can't play an instrument and I'm still just like so impressed when I hear them play it. I'm just like, look at them go. And it's easy for me to like, I don't know, when they're just playing individually, it's their chance to speak. And they're not speaking as a group, they're speaking as an individual. So if Page is playing a little solo, he can be like, these are the jazz records I'm listening to, or I just listen to Rhapsody in Blue, or whatever, whatever he's doing.
Spotlight's on me.
Yeah, he can have a little conversation about it. And I really like that. In terms of Trey's klezmer build, I always... the classical, I took band and orchestra as a kid, and I kind of like that, the structured sort of like melodic motifs that I'm like, have I heard this before? This sounds familiar. I like this. And I think that when Trey does that at the end of Son of a Mule, there's a comfort for me that I feel when I'm listening to that. Like, I kind of know where this is going. I know where it's building. Like, I know a lot of people bitched about that You Enjoy Myself from 97. What's the date on that? 7/23/97, where it has the kind of klezmer build at the end of the You Enjoy Myself.
Yeah.
And I love that shit. I just love it.
Okay.
Every time I hear it, it just gives me the chills. And I've heard people shit all over that. So I think there is just something about it that connects with the Jew in me. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I also think the Alpine 97 version was a Mike and Trey guitar bass duel too, which may have
right.
It's been a little while, and that show should be on the list, so we'll be discussing it later. And then Free.
Yeah,
this Free was, I just said precise, succinct. It's showcasing. I thought Free, Strange Design were showing new material moment of the set. They kind of been through a lot of older songs, and now they were hitting newer stuff and done really, really, really well. Kind of a strange choice, little fourth quarter sleeper.
Yep,
I think
for sure.
Which I complain about all the time.
Yep.
The acapella Amazing Grace is a really nice capper, but does the encore save it?
No, I mean, I think that even though I, gave the scent props, I think from the scent on, it's a little problematic in terms of a slump, like a post.
I agree.
Yeah. So, and I think if it's gonna get kicked off the list, it's gonna be because of this fourth quarter.
And the hood is great, but
The hood
does
is
it
great.
save it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like at the show, would I forget everything? Probably.
Yes. Yes.
You hood encore me,
Yeah.
and you nail it. I mean, this is really great.
Yeah.
Great 95 hood, nothing beyond, out of the pale of great.
Yeah.
And I just wrote like a kind of disjointed set list after Antelope. Is this, are they throwing a bone so they can, stamp the show?
Yeah, well, I think they
Stick the
either
landing?
knew. I think they either knew that they were going to do Hood in the encore, and then just kind of like did that sort of wind down, or it was a stamp. But yeah, I mean, them playing a standalone Hood in the encore in '95, that's like,
Yeah.
that's pretty unique. That's rare. So yeah, it was purposeful, but it was a smoking Hood. It was great.
And a great way for a workhorse of a band who's entering into what a lot of people say is the best 2 weeks / month the band ever played in their career. A great way for them to show how they work.
Right.
And to show how hard they're working and to where they will not give up.
Right.
They will not settle for okay. They will only shoot for greatness. And you see them on stage and you watch, like, again, I love to watch video of some of the shows.
Yeah.
Watching them, they are really fired up and pushing each other, and I just love that energy. I love the floppy mop top.
Oh yeah.
They're getting it, and they're starting to become, I think 93, 94, there's some goofiness to the band. There's a little, I don't know. By 95, 6, there's some road weary, like rock star vibes happening.
Yeah.
And they're getting there. They're very professional at this point, and they are going out on the road for long times, and they are attempting to tread new ground. They're cracking the earth open. They're trying.
Oh yeah.
And they want their tours to be, this is the best rock tour a band's ever going to do. And it's some shit. It's really some shit. And maybe the show doesn't end up on the list, but there's so many other ones around this one.
Yeah.
That it might just get squeezed off by greatness around it.
Yeah.
Would I put the Fleaser show on instead of this? Maybe. From the summer.
Right.
Drop another summer one on and then just have, all the Decembers. Or maybe a show from a totally different era kind of squeezes this one out. But I really enjoyed it. I had a great time listening to it.
Well, I'm on the edge of my seat waiting to find out. We'll see how it goes.
Well, tomorrow for them, the next night is better. And 12/1 is the next show, episode 33 in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And it's I think it's better than this one. I think it's more well-known. It's more renowned. It's got the giant Mike song. But also I think it's like this, where every song is played beautifully and uniquely, and I don't know if it sleeps. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Okay. I remember when 12/1/95 came out, when it was like in the official release. I remember my first listen being a little underwhelmed, but then I do remember doing like going back and listening to This Mike's Weekapaw and really, really loving it. So
I mean, it might be what happens for a lot of this. Because, I mean, we're, like I said, 11:30, 12:1, 12:7, 12:9, 12:14. It's a run.
Yeah.
It's a lot of similar sounding Phish.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They definitely had a sound in 95 for sure.
Yeah, and we're 5 episodes. This is 1. We got 4 more coming. And then we get to New Year's, which is going to be a ball. But they're going to be fun to parse which we like the most and why, and if they all deserve to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's right in the book. It's 12/7 to 12/14. It's just his best week of Phish ? And they have a whole multi-paragraph thing about, like, is this the best the band ever played in their career? And there's only a few of those weeks.
Yeah.
I think August 93 has some. I think, is it July? No, it's November.
I think November 94. Yeah.
Or December in 97 has it as well. There's just a few moments where...
Yeah, I'd say 794 or 1194. And then, and then I'd say 797 and 1197. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
There's a few.
And then you got your island tour people. They're never going to give up.
Yeah, they aren't. Yeah.
No, I love the island tour. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm
not...
Oh, go ahead.
I'm just not connected to the island tour. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I love it.
There are parts of the island tour that I think is among the best playing they've ever done. And there are some stuff from the island tour that people think is incredible that I think is absolute dog shit. So I think that... and the Mike's groove being... If you must know what I think is dog shit, I think that Mike's groove is dog shit.
But they open it, right?
Yeah,
like
but to each their own.
Yeah.
To each their own.
No, I know. I go back sometimes. I'm sure some of those are on this list. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they are.
I certainly hope all 4 aren't. I don't want to get there.
I would think 4-2 and 4-3 have to be, but we'll see.
Anyway.
Yeah.
We'll dissect the shit out of it. It's gonna be fun.
Okay. What else do we got going on, Sam? Have we seen Barbie?
Of course, I saw Barbie.
I haven't seen it. I've been trying to get out. How was it?
I got beached off pretty hard.
You-
No, so my brother's ex-wife and my nieces were in town, and we had one of those days where she took them all into town, and I had to work a little. And then I met up with them, and the 6 of us went and saw Barbie.
Okay.
And she'd seen it at least twice. I know my nieces had seen it once or twice. And there's just Barbie fever everywhere. And my kids are young.
Yeah.
And, half the movie or more went over my 7-year-old's head.
Sure.
But there I am in a theater, with my little girls watching a feminist masterpiece.
Yeah.
And it's everybody in that movie was beautiful. I mean, the sets, the costumes, the details of the acting performances to act sort of dollish in their way, to have that many close-ups and to have like just your makeup and your little eye gestures and facial expressions, and it was beautiful. I mean, the music kicks ass.
That's great.
I thought Lizzo has like the opening song, and I don't know, she sounded a little off.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that to someone, they're like, dude, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Love the movie, but like for some reason Lizzo just kind of like her energy wasn't quite there. But every other song, great. Every acting performance over the top. Even like, the Michael Cera and Kate McKinnon, like as like their, supporting roles were both incredible. Like it just is fun. And
I can't wait to see it.
It makes every man, including myself, look at their life and say, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Right.
I'm not going to... This is a spoiler for you and everybody, but it's a baby spoiler. There's a point where there's kind of a joke about a guy who's like, you don't get The Godfather? Oh my God. Yeah. Sit down. Let me show it to you. And, that kind of thing. And that's us.
Right.
How many times have you looked at someone, female or male, but and said, how do you not get this?
Right.
Like I remember saying once to someone, I wish I could go back to having heard the Beatles in my life so I could re-listen to every Beatles song again for the first time.
Right.
And it addresses that in the movie as like, you're not right to feel that way. So it was good.
Okay.
Barbie.
Yeah.
It's super fun.
Well, I like to think every day I realize something about myself that I should probably change. And that's the beauty of being alive.
Absolutely.
Whether I will be able to control my art proselytizing, doubtful. But will I be aware that it's problematic? Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what our podcast is predicated on. So are we done today because of Barbie? No. But I know it was a great piece of art. I love it.
Yeah.
I hope it continues its success, and I hope it creates conversations.
Yeah.
Which good art's supposed to do, right?
Absolutely. Well, speaking of feminist art or art made by females, I've been teaching my children about ABBA, and
cool.
Did an ABBA deep dive. Listened to 7 ABBA albums. I'm working on a mix, and I don't love all of it, but they got some bangers. They got some under the table bangers that I didn't know about, and I'm like, damn, ABBA had some moves.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
listen to some ABBA. Voulez-Vous. It's a good album to start with.
Yeah, I like that record. Yeah, I found it funny when you sent me an album to listen to the other day, because I had just found it. I didn't send it back. I meant to.
Uh-huh.
I just found I think one of the best records I've heard all year, and I'm really excited about it. It's this guy named Corey Hansen, who you can read into his backstory.
Yeah.
He's a SoCal musician. He's been in a bunch of really cool bands, and he's put out some solo work I've never heard about. And then he just put out a record called Western Come, which is funny title. It is one of the best just guitar albums I've heard in a long time.
Cool.
I was texting with another person, a friend of mine he's really into kind of guitar pop that way. And it kind of has like some Matthew Sweet vibes. It's like, how did he put it? He's like, it's almost like if better musicians were playing rocking versions of Eagles songs. I don't know if that's right. I'm misquoting him, I'm sure. But it's great. There's it's lots of layered heavy guitars.
Is it like Ty Segall kind of stuff, or do you know him?
Go listen.
Okay, all right.
And do some research on this guy. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to go into the depths. Western Come, easy album name to remember.
Okay.
I don't know why he shoots himself in the foot with that name of the album, but then at the same time, it's the best ever.
Okay.
And it makes sense. He's got this really like lilting kind of pretty voice too. And then the guitars and the time signatures. I think there's like a 12-minute song too.
Okay.
It's super fun.
Well, I just
super
album.
fun.
I will listen to it maybe tonight.
So I recommend.
Okay, cool.
Big fan, and it's over, and you're like, how is that over? It's tight, it's sweet, and I've been trying to get back into all his. It's not a deep back catalog, but there's a few records before that are very different. This one kind of stands out as, you notice when an artist is like they put an exclamation point on a piece of work, and this feels that way. It feels great.
Did you listen to the His Golden Messenger? Excuse me.
Yes.
You know what I like about that album is it's kind of like dad rocky, and like it's very like soothing and calming.
Yeah.
And kind of similar to War on Drugs, but like not as layered rock Springsteen-y, but a little bit more like rhythmic and like funk, or just, I don't know, there's some different influences, but it still fills in that pocket of like I have to do some chores and I can't pay attention too closely, but I want something to just like fill me, and I really like that Jump for Joy album by His Golden Messenger.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I know we always do this, and you tell me all the concerts you're going to, and I never go anywhere because where I live and what I do and such. But I'm going to see Wolfpack this fall.
Nice.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Probably when this show comes out, I'll be going to see them in New York. So it's going to be great.
Great.
I'm very, very excited.
It's really nice to have a concert on the books to look forward to a little bit in the future.
Yeah, I keep I don't know. It takes a lot to get me out there these days.
We went to go see Duran Duran and Chic with Nile Rodgers last week. Like big venue. It was my first time ever seeing Duran Duran. And let me tell you something.
Wow.
They bring the joy. They bring the joy. I mean, they're not, it was like people were happy, and man, were they happy. And Simon Le Bon is such a funny, great front man. What a cool show. so glad I finally got to see them, and it was a great set list. And then
Where did they play?
at Chula Vista, the big
Oh,
shed,
cool.
the
Yeah.
big amphitheater down in southern San Diego. And then Nile Rodgers and Chic played before, and they played for like over an hour and did like all the Chic stuff, and then did
Yeah.
Young Americans and Material Girl and like a Virgin, and did like a Beyonce
Cool.
song and a Taylor Swift song or whatever. So it was a really, really cool show for a big show.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everybody dressed up 80s like they should have. I was a little disappointed, but well, what are you going to do? Sometimes San Diego
Hair
people
matters.
can be too cool for school.
Hair definitely matters. Some colors, some spray.
All right. Well, shall we wrap up this episode?
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
I really, yeah, we're not sure. This is a maybe. Show's a hard maybe. And we've had a few of these. Great Phish, great playing. Go listen to the whole thing. Tell us about it.
Yeah. And
Bust our
head
balls.
up all those Fall 94 tweezers.
Yeah, tell us we're right, tell us we're wrong. And tune in for 12-1, which, if you're one of those people who tunes in late and you're just hitting them all, it'll be like 5 minutes from now. But yeah, get it. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks, everyone. We will be talking to you soon.
Yeah, have a great day, everybody. Bye. Hello there, friends, and thank you for listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or would like to reach out to Ian and I about anything at all, you can find us at companion2thecompanion@gmail.com.